The direction of Vegeta's character in Dragon Ball Super since the Tournament of Power has been very, very interesting, and it seems to me like there's something big coming in the future for Vegeta. Whether or not he actually is the one to defeat Moro, something else is brewing underneath everything. During the battle with Jiren, Vegeta was very impressed at the power of Ultra Instinct and wanted to tap into that power himself, but after a while chose to go in a different direction. He chose to go in the direction of figuring out some way to tap into his own power. I did a very detailed video about this called Limit Breaker Vegeta Deconstructed, where I talked about how and why Vegeta was able to tap into this basically blue evolution form, which the manga has its own version of, like a mastered version of blue, and sort of go beyond Super Saiyan Blue, but not quite hit the levels of Ultra Instinct. If you watch the feats and the battles in Dragon Ball Super, you know that Ultra Instinct is still very much above Blue Evolution, but there's something more coming down the pipeline. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be a new transformation. I'm not sure if Vegeta will actually achieve the power of Ultra Instinct, whether it be the Omen version or the finalized version, the perfected version, but it seems like with the way things are being written, and again, I am quite unsure if this is Toriyama's direction or Toyotaro's direction, Vegeta has chosen to go an alternate path. With Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Vegeta kind of realized that he's going to figure it out on his own and make himself stronger on his own, which is something that he's kind of always done. But usually he's trying to play catch up to Goku, and that's one thing that I do find that's a really good evolution of his character. You know, in the past, in Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta was always behind Goku, whether it be Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3, or even before that, Vegeta was amazed at the power of, Mastered or Super Saiyan Grade 4, full power Super Saiyan. I did a whole video on all these forms in the transformation, guys, so check those out if you haven't. But back to what I was saying. So Vegeta's always been behind Goku, but at the end of Dragon Ball Z, he gave him the thumbs up, and said that Goku was number one. Now, that being said, Dragon Ball Super kind of took things in a backwards direction to where Vegeta, although he admitted that Goku was better, still wanted to surpass him in Dragon Ball Super. And many folks have criticized this direction because they feel like it's Vegeta going backwards. The difference is that Vegeta's not trying to kill Goku anymore like he was in the early parts of the series, of Z anyways, when he wanted to take revenge on Goku for beating him. That wasn't really the idea. Now he just wants to get as strong as possible, but instead of following in Goku's direction, he's going in a different direction. And now with the Moro arc, things are getting even more interesting because we have Goku face to face with Moro, unlocking Ultra Instinct Omen or Ultra Instinct Sign at will, and we have Vegeta off training, refusing to leave the planet. Even though Earth may be in serious danger from Moro and his forces, Vegeta is refusing to leave the planet Yardrat until he completes his training. Now, based on the clues that the manga has given us, I'm really certain, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm fairly certain that Vegeta's new power is not going to be a transformation, but more so a technique to beat Moro. And I feel like Vegeta's sort of strategy now is to be more practical than Goku. Rather than try to tap into Ultra Instinct or some kind of godly power, which Vegeta already has access to the other god forms, so he's already gotten a taste of this, if you know what I mean. I feel like Vegeta is trying to just better himself as an overall martial artist, instead of relying on Ultra Instinct. Now, obviously, if he does get Migate no Gokui, he'll be amazing, and he knows it'll be the peak of his power. But I feel like Vegeta is so sort of, has tunnel vision, so to speak, about getting this new power and unleashing it on Moro and becoming the hero. Whether or not he does that remains to be seen as of this video. But I feel like it's not a new transformation because if the Yardrats knew a way to transform or a new transformation, why didn't Goku learn that when he was there many, many years ago? Now, obviously, the Yardrats have different abilities that Goku never learned and different powers and whatnot, but I feel like a transformation wouldn't really be in their data bank. I feel like that's something that the gods or the Saiyans would be more attuned to, maybe the Namekian Book of Legends, but I feel like the Yardrats themselves aren't really in the business of that, but they do have mysterious and unique abilities like, teleportation and whatever they're going to teach Vegeta, whatever that is. However, I think that what it could be with Vegeta is that I feel like as a character, maybe the best direction for him to go in right now in Dragon Ball is for him to kind of stack up all these little techniques and sort of learn more about the universe and become more of a knowledge bank like Piccolo and Master Roshi have been in the past. Because if Master Roshi can do a technique that's similar to Ultra Instinct, Vegeta should be able to do something very similar. Maybe not exactly Ultra Instinct, but something close to it, right? By now, you would think so with all the battles Vegeta's been in. So I feel like at this point, Vegeta tries to become a more thorough martial artist and possibly someday even surpass or counter Ultra Instinct with his knowledge of the universe and not so much just a new transformation or a new form. I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans love transformations, and I've said in the past, there are some historically amazing moments in Dragon Ball with transformations, but I feel like at this point, I'm personally tapped out on transformations. I think Super introduced way too many in a short span, and I think that going forward in Dragon Ball, I feel like characters should kind of be more diverse and learn different things before we just get a new form. You know, obviously new transformations are easy ways for Bandai to sell toys and for the video games to get new DLCs and all that, but I also feel like it's something that should probably be held off at least for a certain amount of time. You know, it doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but at least for a certain amount of time, I feel like these forms, like a new form, should be held off. A lot of folks thought that when Goku was able to go into Ultra Instinct Omen at will, that right there was too soon. And I kind of understand where they're coming from with that. I get it if you feel that way, and I kind of understand too. He was training with Mirrors for a while, and that would obviously justify him getting the form, but I feel like we're already in the next arc after the TOP, and you know, this form, the Mastery of Self movement, this state of being, it's more so a state of being than a form, has been so hyped up for so long that it just sort of feels like it would be a little bit more work for Goku. So at this point, if Goku can master Ultra Instinct Omen, I feel like characters like Beerus might actually get left behind now. You know, a dude who everybody's afraid of, who came in, you know, with guns a-blazing, figuratively, and became this hugely scary, you know, ally, but still a scary guy, the god of destruction. And yet, I feel like if Goku's able to tap into these forms now with the way things are going, I feel like Beerus might actually end up being like a Piccolo character where he'll have his moments or he just won't fight at all. And that's not something that I really wanted, because I wanted to see Beerus have full power against Goku again. But would Beerus even stand a chance now if Goku knows Ultra Instinct? That's one thing Beerus hasn't even been able to master yet. But I feel like with Vegeta, if he can learn to stack these spirit control techniques or whatever, he might be able to find a counter for Ultra Instinct. There might be one out there in the universe that maybe the angels don't even know about. I mean, you have to understand, this is a multiverse that's been around for millions of years. We don't know much about the angels and how long they've been around, but we know they have a lot of knowledge, but even they don't know everything, because we have Zuno, who seems to have knowledge of a different kind in this universe. So that is something to think about right there. But one thing we have to really discuss here, and we have to accept, and I don't know if fans think about this too much, but I certainly do, is the more Dragon Ball continues, whether it be manga, anime, or movie, it doesn't matter, the harder it's going to be for the person writing it, whether it be Toriyama, Toyotaro, or whomever, to come up with new and interesting stories for Goku and Vegeta, because Goku and Vegeta have been through so much already in Z and in Super, and Super, compared to Dragon Ball and Z, the older stuff, the manga too, is much faster paced. Dragon Ball Super's pacing was just ridiculously fast compared to the old series, and because of that, I do feel like they should slow down and maybe develop other characters. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I feel like things need to take a unique and interesting turn at this point, because if not, we're going to get recycled stories over and over again and no real development. And I think Vegeta going off on his own road, like he did with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, is the right way to go with that character. And I really do like the fact that Dragon Ball Super's manga is continuing with this sort of direction for Vegeta, in that he is stubbornly, but in a good way, refusing to leave Yardrat until he learns that spirit control power. And that power, that spirit control power, might be so intense, think about this, that it could actually be something that Vegeta can use in battle when his transformations don't work. So we might get a Vegeta now that might not even need to transform if he knows how to use that spirit power, if it's as strong as it's being hyped up to be. Again, we don't know. We'll find out in the future of the manga. Probably in the next few chapters we'll get an idea of what's going to happen, but I wanted to make this video and just sort of ramble and give you my thoughts on this. So let me know what you think in the comments, of course, of Vegeta's direction, and will he achieve this new power? Well, he will, but what's it going to be? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I love you. Remember to take care of yourself big time nowadays and each other.